I don't know if that last little chat, nobody came on because nobody could see my chat, or if people were seeing it, but I don't know. But I'm glad that now I'm back on and it looks like people are watching and people are making comments. I don't know what happened the last time. I did about a chat for about 5 minutes, but nobody on. So I just want to repeat, though, because it's such an important message, what I said in my last short chat, which I don't know if anybody saw or will see, but I said that we should be very, very happy because everything is happening better than we could have imagined. And it's becoming better and better and better all the time. It's miraculous. Whatever anyone could have dreamed, anyone could have imagined what the best could be, it's actually better than that. That's my vision. So if you don't see things that way, that's fine. But try to look deeper. Try to look deep in your heart and pray and meditate and ask God for guidance and for revealing the truth, because you can find the truth in your heart if you're very, very sincere and pray and meditate. And if you look outside, especially at the media, you'll see a lot of deceit and fake news. Very hard to see the truth. Very hard to see how actually everything is becoming better and better, because on the surface, it doesn't look like that. But that's actually the way I see it anyway. For me, that's the truth. Things are becoming better. The Third World War has been canceled, and the coronavirus pandemic is failing. It's not happening. It was intended to be very, very deadly, but by the mercy of God, the virus has become mutated and less dangerous. So all the plans of the satanic people to try to take over the world are being foiled. Their plan to start Third World War was foiled. Their plan to create a worldwide pandemic, coronavirus pandemic, in which millions of people would die, uh, that has been foiled. Now, in America at least, we see by the figures, mortality is less from coronavirus than it is from the common flu. Fewer percentage of people are dying from coronavirus than from common flu in America. So don't believe what the mass media is saying. They're telling all sorts of lies. The figures are distorted at best or totally false. So be happy. Things are getting better and better and better. Okay, so there are a lot of comments now. I don't know what happened the last time, but we will now read the comments. Sir Fawad Hassan Khan says, Dear Sir, just a polite suggestion. Half of your daily chat time is spent on doing duas for people. Isn't it better you and Fatima do a dua for everyone attending live chat? Thanks. I have been thinking that more and more people are asking for duas and taking more time. So I think that's a very good suggestion. Thank you very much. I will not take time on the daily chat to do duas. We will do a Khalili Fatima ji and myself. We will do a dua for everyone after the chat. Okay, Fawad Hassan Khan also has a comment. The saved time you should use to educate us about spirituality. Thanks. Okay, I will do that. Arsal says, Allahumma salli wa salam wa baraka ala Sayyidina Muhammad and Nabi Alami. I don't know Arabic, but I'm reading. Al Habib, Al Mahbub, Al Allah, Al Qadar, Al Salim, Al Jah, wa Allah, Allah wa Sahabaha wa salam. Okay, very good. Prayer in Arabic for peace on the Holy Prophet and all of the companions. Thank you very much for that good prayer. Sabah Usman says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Wa alaikum salam, Sabah ji. Usman Ali also says, Baba ji, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. Okay, I'm not even going to read all the, but Ehsan Rajput also says, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam to everybody. SH Gaming says, Hello, uncle. My name is Sajid Hussain. मैं आपसे इल्यूमिनाती के बारे में पूछना चाहता हूँ. तो मैंने कल भी चैट में और 3-4 बार पिछले हफ्ते में मैंने इल्यूमिनाटी के बारे में बताया था. तो रोनाल्ड बर्नार्ड नाम का आदमी RONALD उसका नाम आप सर्च करें इंटरनेट में, आपको उसके कुछ वीडियोस मिलेंगे जो इल्यूमिनाटी के अंदर जा रहा था, और जब उसने समझ लिया कि ये शैतानी लोग बच्चों के कुर्बान करते हैं, शैतान को कुर्बान, शैतान के लिए वो बच्चों को भी कुर्बान करते हैं, तो फिर वो निकल गया था इल्यूमिनाटी से। तो उसका नाम आप, और दूसरा है एरिजोना वाइल्डर, ARIZONA WILDER, उसका नाम भी सर्च करें आप, उसके वीडियोस भी इल्यूमिनाटी के बारे में बहुत सीख सकते हैं। लेकिन छोटे में मैं बताऊंगा कि इल्यूमिनाटी ये शैतानी लोग हैं जो हज़ारों सालों से पूरी दुनिया को अपने कब्जे में लाने की कोशिश में लगे हैं, और वो सोच रहे थे कि हम कामयाब हो जाएंगे शैतान के लिए, क्योंकि वो शैतान पुजारी हैं, शैतान के लिए हम इस पूरी दुनिया को हमारे कब्जे में लाएंगे, लेकिन अभी वो फेल हो गए हैं। तो सब जो बड़े बैंकस्टर, ज़्यादा जो बैंक इंटरनेशनल बैंकर्स हैं, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनीज के सीईओज जो हैं, और रॉयल्टी भी हैं उसमें, बादशाही ख़ानदान यूरोप के इन इल्यूमिनाटी में हैं। तो बहुत खतरनाक थे। अभी उनके दांत निकाला गया, हमने कहते हैं सांप का जब दांत को निकाला जाता है तो फिर जहर की कोई फिक्र नहीं है। तो अभी इन शैतानी लोगों के, इल्यूमिनाटी के लोगों के फैंग्स, दांत को, क्योंकि वो सांप से जहरीलू सांप जैसे हैं, उनके दांत को निकाला गया है, अभी वो कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं। तो फिक्र नहीं करो उनसे, बहुत खतरनाक थे, लेकिन अभी वो फेल हो गए उनकी कोशिशों में। अच्छा, Fawad Hassan Khan, dear sir, I am really optimistic about world's future after listening to you. Sir, what are black holes? Could they be portals to other universes? Thanks for answering. Well, they could be, maybe. Black holes could be portals to other universes. I really don't know, but a good question. So I don't know the answer. Sayed Asif says, bless you, sir, and bless all nations. Thank you very much for your wonderful prayer. Thank you. Parvez says, hi, sir. Can you come to Pakistan in future? Yes, I'm still planning to come in October. If these fires in California, the air quality is very, very bad right now. It's dangerous even, very unhealthy. So we are a little restricted, but this will end, inshallah, before too long. And coronavirus scare will also come to control very soon, inshallah. So my good wife and teacher and myself are planning to come to Pakistan in October, inshallah. Munir Ahmed, Babaji, Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, Munir Ahmed ji. Kulwant Singh, Babaji, miss you today. Hope to meet you soon when things settle down. Please pray for me and also say my good wish to Mom. Thanks. Okay, I definitely will. We're sorry we could not come to see you today, but the the fires are only, a few miles from our house now, and the air quality is so bad we cannot really go outside and work or anything. Even inside the house, there's so much smoke coming in because our house is not very smoke proof. So we're just trying to take everything easy now, but we definitely will meet you soon, inshallah. Okay, thank you for your comment, Kulwant Singh ji, and Sat Sri Akal. Okay, Fawad Hassan Khan says, dear sir, heard in some of your lectures about consciousness present in everything, even in cells and stars as well. Very vital point you made. Sir, if possible, please briefly explain it again. Thanks. Consciousness is everywhere, in everything. Each of us is conscious. We are aware of our own consciousness. That's how we're aware. So everything is conscious, actually. Consciousness is everywhere. And there is the supreme consciousness of God, which is conscious of everything all the time, everywhere, even outside of time. So God's consciousness is infinite, universal, timeless, or consciousness. And our consciousness is also actually universal in the sense that we can go anywhere we want. We can't be restricted. But our consciousness is tiny in the sense that we are, compared to God, we are powerless. God is all powerful. We have a tiny bit of power. God's given power. God has given us a little bit of power, a little bit of free will. to make choices, good or bad. That's up to us. We have that freedom. And we have limited power. We have some power, actually, quite a lot of power compared to other sorts of beings. But human beings have a lot of power compared to others. But compared to God, it is nothing, insignificant. But there is some power there. So that, I think, is the most important thing to understand about consciousness, that God is the infinite consciousness, all powerful, and we are tiny little consciousnesses. Each one of us has consciousness within our body. And within our body, there are millions and billions even of other little consciousnesses. Every cell in our body is conscious, and there are many little bacteria and other tiny little creatures living in our body who are also each conscious of their own bodies, just like we are each conscious of our body. So, yes, and even stars, they have consciousness. Even, of course, we know animals, of course, have consciousness. Plants also have consciousness. That's not hard to understand, and there have been scientific experiments showing that plants have emotions. But also mountains, rivers, oceans, streams, and ponds. They all have consciousness. Consciousness is everywhere. But only God is the one, supreme, all-pervading consciousness, and each of us is a tiny little consciousness. We are all servants of God. Even the sun and moon and stars, they are all conscious beings, but they are all servants of God. And we are also conscious beings, and we are also servants of God. And there are also, on every planet practically, there are intelligent species of life who are conscious, similar to the way we are. So consciousness is everywhere, in everything. Thank you for your good question, Fawad Hassan Khan Sahib. Ramzan Ranja Ji Ramzan says, Baba, Assalamu alaikum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aapko aur बहन फातिमा को खुश रखे. हाँ, अल्लाह पाक ने हमको बहुत खुश रखा. आज मैं बहुत खुश हूँ इन बातों को सुनकर, समझकर कि कैसे शैतानी लोगों को हराया जा रहा है और सच्चे लोग, साफ दिल लोग, मोहब्बत वाले लोग जीत रहे हैं. और दीन की ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा खिदमत करने की ताकत अता फरमाए. आमीन. वासलाम. शुक्रिया. और आपको, आप पर भी अल्लाह की रहम हो और आप भी खुश रहो और ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा खिदमत करने की ताकत अल्लाह आपको भी अता फरमाए. Nazim Shakir Salam Alan. Walaikum Salam. Nazir Shakir G. Markov Tyrell says, Wasif Ali Wasif says, there cannot be a union of souls where you have a union of bodies. They can never be one. And say that as a warning. You says your wife is your spiritual teacher. Can you explain? So Wasif Ali Wasif Sahib, I've met him. He's a very great Sufi. He says there cannot be a union of souls. You have a union of bodies. I don't really understand what that means, to tell you the truth. I don't understand why there can't be a union of souls, and I don't know quite what you mean by union of souls or what Wasif Ali Wasif Sahib meant, but the souls can never be one. Okay, yes. The souls are all individual, eternal individuals. Every soul is an eternal individual, and we can come together in love. In that sense, we can even become one with God in that sense, becoming one in love. But we all retain our individuality, our individual consciousness. So in that sense, we cannot become one. That's true. But souls can become so much in love that they become like one, just like we become like one with God. When we have no other desire except to serve and please God, and our happiness comes when God is happy, that is real oneness, that is real love. So similarly, there can be that sort of union of two souls where each is so much in love with the other that one's happiness is only in the happiness of the beloved. That is real union, that is real love. The two souls do not become one, but each only wants the happiness of the other. And that is possible when each only wants the happiness of God. So that is real, eternal union and oneness and love. So in that sense, we can become one, but not that the two souls lose their individuality and become one soul. No. Similarly, never does it happen that we lose our individuality and we become one with God totally. No. We don't become one with God in that sense, but we become one with God in love and service, love and serving God with total dedication. That is the real oneness. Okay, and you say that my wife is my spiritual teacher. Can I explain? She is my spiritual teacher. Before she became my wife, I accepted her as my spiritual teacher, just like Imran Khan accepted his Bushra Bibi was his spiritual guide before he married her. So same thing happened to me before him. So he either followed in my example or he may, of course, did not know about it, but he did the same thing I did, which is very good. If you have a good spiritual guide and she is a woman and neither of you are married, then you can get married. That's very good arrangement. Okay. Syed Asif says, Sir, thank you very much for reading my message. It's make me glad because you are a beautiful lesson for no Muslims, for a number of, I don't know what you can't understand exactly what this means, but Allah bless you and you shine like a starts. Not shine like a stars, shine like some upstarts. I do, yes. Okay, F1 UK Ahmed. Sir, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuhu. What will you say about the time machine, also called time travel? Yes, they do have time machines. There is time travel happening. Even for the last 50 years, maybe, they've had time travel. The CIA developed a time travel mechanism. And Andrew Basiago, Andrew Basiago, you can look him up. He was the first American child to be time traveled. And he was sent back to 1863, and he saw Abraham Lincoln giving the Gettysburg Address. One of the most famous talks in American history was by Abraham Lincoln, President Abraham Lincoln, in 1863. I think it was 1863, maybe I'm off a little bit, but 1865, sometime around then. And Andrew Basiago was sent, time traveled back there, and he was there. And amazingly, there even was a photograph taken in which inadvertently, without any intention, somebody took a photograph and Andrew Basiago was standing right there in the photograph. And that photograph, he found it. It was in some museum or some collection. So time travel is definitely happening and has been happening, of course, much longer from other peoples, but on this planet, the human beings have been doing time travel at least for 50 years. Okay, by the way, Andrew Basiago is who I voted for in the last election for president. He was running for president as an independent, but I wrote in his name as president because he is a time traveler and he also has traveled in space, not only time. So he's a very good man. So I hope that he will one day become president also. I did not vote for Trump when I could never have voted for Hillary Clinton, satanic Hillary. But Trump is a God-fearing man. I did not vote for him, as I've explained many times, because he didn't understand Islam properly, and he also didn't understand environmental needs properly. He was in favor of fracking and against Muslim nations, so I did not vote for him. But now I've seen that he is actually doing very, very good work. So despite the fact that I disagree with him on the environmental issues, I'm against fracking, he's still supporting it, which I think is a huge mistake. But he's an American patriot. He wants America to be great. So by being energy independent, he has made America energy independent by supporting fracking and things, which I think it's a mistake. But anyway, I did not vote for him, but I will now, because he is fighting against, and successfully, very successfully, fighting against these satanic Illuminati, one world order, new world order cabal. You don't know how successful he's being because the mass media doesn't publicize it. And he is not publicizing it much either, because the best war is when you win the war before your enemies even realize. So now they've realized he's already won. They're stuck, they're caught, they're trapped. Uh, and it's all coming out now, not in the mass media, but in the courts in America. The FBI agent, I think Klein-Smith was his name, who made false report, a very, very false lie. He deleted, or he didn't delete, he changed one email. So they wanted to spy on Trump legally, sort of legally, during the presidential campaign in 2016. So they got permission to spy on him because one of his campaign people, named Page, I think Carter Page, they accused him of being a spy for Russia. So in America, you cannot spy on American citizens unless they are working against the country by spying. If they're, working for another country to spy on America, then they can be spied on, even if they're American citizens. But American laws forbid the government or any government agency like CIA or FBI from spying on individual Americans. But they wanted to spy on him and people who he was associated with, like Trump especially. So they made up this fake case that Carter Page is a spy working with Russia against America. So they got permission to spy on him and on anyone who was associated with him, like especially President Trump. Not president then, candidate Trump. So in order to get that permission to spy on Carter Page, they had to deny that he was actually a CIA asset himself. He was working with the CIA. So the FBI was informed by the CIA, no, you cannot spy on this Carter Page. He is our man. He's working for us. So this rascal FBI attorney or agent, whoever he was, Klein-Smith, he changed that email that came from the CIA saying he's our man, he's working for us. And he changed it and he said, he is not working for us. And then they sent that for getting permission to be able to spy on him and on Trump and on everyone else in Trump's campaign. Just see these demons, liars. Now he's been caught. Mr. Klein-Smith, I think is his name. He has gotten caught and he has pled guilty. He has admitted, yes, I did this. I changed that email. And now he's just the first one. Dozens and hundreds of these satanic rascals who were working against Trump and trying to make the false case that Trump colluded with Russia to affect the election of Trump. So now the truth is coming out. But you won't read about this very much in the mass media. They're trying to conceal it. But this is the truth, that these satanic people are being arrested and they're being punished. So it's really happening. So everyone should be very, very happy because of this. It's really happening. So I mentioned this all because I said I voted for Andrew Basiago, who himself has done time travel. You can even see a picture of him in 1863 or 1865. Sorry, I don't remember the exact year. And he was from 1970s. So he was sent back more than 100 years. So there's clear proof. So you can look up Andrew Basiago, time travel, Lincoln, Gettysburg Address. If you put all those words in, you'll actually be able to find that picture of this 11-year-old boy who you can clearly see he's out of place. He doesn't belong there. He's from a different time. Okay, so yes, time travel is definitely going on. Okay, Shazia Azimi says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. आप पर अल्लाह का करम है, आप इस्लाम को बहुत बेहतर तौर पर जानते हैं, आप में रूहानियत की लगन है, खुश नसीब हैं आप माशाल्लाह, जो लोग रूहानी फितरत होते हैं, सच्चाई खुद उनके सामने आती है. बहुत अच्छी बात, शुक्रिया. अच्छा, Mudassar Pervez is asking, Albert Einstein was Illuminati member. Is it true or not? I don't know. Um, I really don't know. I don't think so, but maybe. He certainly did a lot of good scientific work, but that and Illuminati, they always try to use everyone. They tried to use Albert Einstein, but I think he was a God-fearing man. He is not. He could not be a Illuminati. I don't think so. Markov Tyrell says they mean that your partner cannot be your spiritual guide. Oh, I don't know. Why not? Maybe generally no, but she was my spiritual guide. And then I fell in love with her and I asked her to marry me. She avoided for a while, but then she agreed when something quite amazing happened. I was, I called her, I telephoned her, and she was speaking to somebody else. And then I bumped him off the phone and she said, "Oh, what is this? This Alan Kiesler must have a lot of spiritual power that he bumped this other man," because he was a spiritual teacher himself, that man who got bumped off the phone. So when that happened, she said, "Oh, this is," then she agreed to marry me. So anyway, by spiritual guide, I mean Murshid, Mark Tyrell says. Anyway, she doesn't allow me to call her my Murshid. So I don't. I call her my Ustad, my teacher. But she is my spiritual guide and she is my wife. Mudassar Pervez, what do you think about Bermuda Triangle? Oh, yeah. So many times I get asked this question, and so many times I've given the answer. Bermuda Triangle is a natural place. It's not the only place in this planet where there are certain ley lines crossing. That is the natural, what is it called, electromagnetic structure of the Earth, that anomalies happen there. But actually in Baluchistan, there's a similar place. It's kind of uninhabited and people don't go there much, so they don't know that. But there are at least, I can't remember, 5 or 10 such places on the planet, not only Bermuda Triangle. It's not the jinn. People say, is it a place, are the jinns there? No, I don't think so. It's just a natural. Okay, Rubina Aftab says, Assalamu alaikum. कुल आपने मेरे लिए दुआ की है तो उसका असर भी नजर आया है आप मेरे लिए और मेरे husband और बच्चों के लिए दुआ करते रहें. Thanks again for your support. Love you a lot, sir. Okay, as I announced in the beginning, we won't do those prayers now, but afterwards we will again. Already you've got a new set, so we will continue. Paresh Moore says hello. Hello to you. It's Hina says salam. Markov Tyrell says all right. Paresh Moore says image not clear. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. Hina Gul says, sorry, I'm in worry for my children. Kindly pray for us. I will, I'll break my news. I will pray for you and your children. Oh God, please bless Hina Gul and her children. Okay, Anab Fatma says, Assalamu alaikum, I am Anab Fatma from India. How is your wife? Please bring your wife live on your YouTube ever. I want she take my name and bless me with spiritual dua. I am alone without any spiritual friend. Okay, inshallah. Maybe, see, I've explained before, she has rheumatoid arthritis, which is a very dangerous, problematic disease, and she cannot sleep at night, hardly. It's very difficult for her to sleep. So she sleeps, when she gets to sleep, maybe 2 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and then she's sleeping at this time always. But maybe I can have her do it live in the evening here. That's in the morning in Pakistan. That's very, thank you for your request. I will ask her to do that. Syed Asif, sorry, sir, the word was non-Muslims. It's cut by mistake. Love you, Pakistani from Malaysia. Okay. Fawad Hassan Khan says, dear sir, mashallah, your life is full of spiritual events. Loved your Baba Farid Pakpatan video. It would be wonderful if you can make new series of videos telling us about other spiritual events. Thanks. Okay, I have made other videos of other spiritual events. I don't know if I'll make a special series. Nofi Zaman Khan says, Assalamu alaikum, sir. Do you think the coming of the Mahdi is imminent at this time in the world, keeping in mind the situation of the Saudi throne? Yes, I think coming of Mahdi is imminent, or maybe he's already come. I don't know. Maybe he's already come and gone. That's also possible. We have many misunderstandings about Mahdi. I know that. Imam Mahdi alayhi salam definitely is prophesied very clearly, but there are some misinterpretations about him. I know, I'm sure of that. So he may already have come and gone. It's possible. And otherwise, he's definitely coming soon if he hasn't come yet, because it's very clear from the events in the world that this is that time of the end, as it's called. Not the end of the world, the end of the old age of war and hatred, the beginning of the new age of love and peace. That's right now. So definitely, if he hasn't come yet, he is coming. Abdul Ghafoor, good morning, Babaji. Assalamu alaikum. वालेकुम सलाम अब्दुल गफूर जी, इंशाल्लाह आपसे हम मिलेंगे आज नहीं बल्कि जब ये सब जो ख़राब हवा है, very bad air quality right now, very dangerous actually. So we have to stay inside and wear masks if we go out. I put a wet cloth over my nose to breathe when I have to go outside. But inshallah, we will meet soon. Anis Ahmed Danoli, Babaji, capitalism or communist क्या है? मुझे मालूम नहीं, आप मुझे मालूम है, लेकिन ये अच्छा सवाल नहीं है मुझसे. आप इसका जवाब आपको आसानी से मिल सकता है, थोड़ा रिसर्च खुद करें. लेकिन कैपिटलिज्म और कम्युनिज्म का मतलब है किसी को कोई चीज नहीं अपना. Everything owned in common, no private property. So capitalism means you have your own business, you make money for yourself. So the best system, the Islamic system, is halfway in between capitalism and communism. Business is encouraged, but one should not become too wealthy and selfish. When one makes a lot of money, one should give it for charity, for a good purpose. And communism, spiritual communism is very good. When everyone loves each other so much that they don't want to own anything personally. They just want to serve others, so there's no need for money even. Everything. But that's not the Islamic system, communism. Spiritual communism means everything is owned by God. That is real communism. Nobody owns anything. Everything is God's. That is real communism. But this worldly communism, Marxist communism, is very satanic, actually. It never works. It won't work because people don't love each other so much. They're selfish. So communism will never work in this world. Islamic system of economy, where there is some difference of communism means nobody is rich, nobody is poor, everybody's the same. But Islamic system means there are some people who are rich, there are some people who are poor, but the rich people are always giving for the poor people to help them. So there's no excessive riches or poverty. Everyone is living comfortably. That is Islamic system. It is neither communism nor capitalism, sort of halfway in between. It's, signals are very weak because it's very blurry, but voice is okay. Okay, picture doesn't matter if it's blurry as long as the voice is clear. Anab Fatma, I am Anab Fatma from India. How many children you have? I have 3 children. They are 2 girls and 1 boy. Are they all taking Islamic education or some different things? Not what you call Islamic education, none of them are, but what I call Islamic education of learning to be loving and truthful and kind. All 3 of them are very loving and truthful and kind people. They're all very interested in serving and helping other people. None of them are selfishly oriented. So in that sense, they have the best Islamic education. That's real Islamic education. Saadi Elias, hello, sir. Please, can you give a talk on partition of India and its aftermath on another channel? They need neutral point of view. Okay, I can do that. Tell me, what is that channel? Oh, here it is. It is Keshu Films. I suggested your name. Maybe you are willing or not. Yes, I'm very willing to do that, since I do know quite a bit about it, having lived through it. I was there. In 1947, I was already born, and I was in what became India, Mussoorie and Uttar Pradesh, north of Delhi. And then when I was, just in September 1947, my parents were working in Khanewal, in West Punjab. So then we went right in the middle of all of that horrific violence of partition. We went from India to Pakistan. So of course, I don't remember that. I was too young, but my parents told me about it, and I have studied a little about it. So I'd be very happy to give my point of view on partition of India on Keshu Films. Okay, tell them to get in touch with me. I will do that. Anab Fatma says, I am Anab Fatma from India. Humble request to you, please say my name, Anab Fatma, to your wife and ask dua for me. Okay, I will do that. Rubina Makbul, I can guide for the coming of Imam Mahdi. He came 200 years ago in Iran. Also Hazrat Isa alayhi Islam. Okay, very good news. But I think Imam Mahdi not only will come once. I've become convinced of this. Imam Mahdi is so powerful that he can come 200 years ago, and he can come 100 years ago, and he can come now. He can come whenever he wants. Babar Chaudhary says, Assalamu alaikum, Babaji. How are you? I hope you are very well. Please, please pray for me. Okay, I will. Not now, but I will. Nafiya Zaman Khan, it's mentioned in the hadith that the Antichrist would come 7 years after the Mahdi. But it is also mentioned that the time of the Mahdi will be like a resurrection for us Muslims. Should we be worried? Not if you're a real Muslim, of course not. If you're a real Muslim, you will be always very happy, because real Muslim means you're loving God and serving God, and you are aware that God is the master of everything and he is our best friend. So if you're a real Muslim, you'll never be worried about anything, because God is great, Allahu Akbar, and Allah is our best friend. So how can we be worried? Muslim girl says, Assalamu alaikum, your name should be Muhammad Alan Kaiser. Thank you. You don't know, my name is Ali Muhammad Kartar Puri. That name was given to me by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, himself, November 30th, I believe, of last year. Okay. Fatima Sarfraz says, sending lots of thoughts and prayers for wildfires. Thank you very much. Sadia Laur, so he will contact you. Okay, I look forward to that. All right, I'm going to end now, because we have a lot to do in this difficult time with these fires burning not very far from us, and the sky, I'm just looking at the window at the sky. The sky is full of smoke, is very unhealthy condition. You can look up Esparto, California on some air quality index, and you will see that it is very unhealthy here right now. So I'm going to end, but thank you all very, very much for your very, very wonderful comments and questions, and we will see you again tomorrow, inshallah. May God protect us all.